Hello and welcome to the Mint introductory video. This video gives you a quick overview of the Mint platform. In each of the following sections, we are going to be going into details on all of the different sections of Mint, from the overview, the transaction, the budget, the bills, the goals, the trends, the investment, the settings, and the credit score section. Please stay tuned for more detailed breakdown of each of these sections. Welcome to the settings section. In the settings section, the interface, just like with all of the other sections, is really easy for you to follow. On the left hand side, you have an overview of the key sections in this subsections in this particular section. This arrow here allows you to minimize the overview subsections and to have more of the screen so that you can see the content a lot better. However, you can click back on it and see what your features subsections are. The key subsections in your settings are your accounts, features, the things you can hide, your notification, and your profile. Let's look at your accounts here. You can look at all of them. You can only look at your financial accounts. This is a breakdown from your checking, auto loans, etc. You can look at your bills. Remember, in the bill section, if you've added a bill and it's not one of those bills that Mint, the software, has identified for you automatically as a bill, you will find those bills listed here. And this is where you can add them, delete them. You can also manage them in the bill section as well. You can edit, add, or delete in this section. You can look at your properties. This is a quick overview of the investment property I have and the loan attached to it. Now let's use the arrow to minimize this section. Let's look at overview features. This is a great section. Your overview section is the very first section of your Mint, and how the interface looks can be controlled in this section. In order to give you a reminder of what I'm talking about, let's go to the overview section here. Currently, this is what this account's overview section looks like. On the left hand side, you have accounts, your checking, your credit cards, your investments, your loans, your properties, and each one of them has an arrow where you can minimize each one of these for a more streamlined view of all of your accounts. To the right hand side, you have all of your bills. You have this big window that shows you all of your bills. You can go to all bills, or you can just see what's due, or you can even click here in the setting and hide each one of these sections. So in this overview section, in each subsection, you can hide it. You can refresh your account section, or you can hide it. For your bills, you can hide it. Because this is not the paid version, you will have quite a bit of ads. Right underneath this overview section, you have your trends. You can hide this section if you wanted to by clicking on the settings icon. And right below that, to the right hand side, you have your goals. This, you can add a goal, or you can hide this whole section. And right below that, you have your insights. In my insights here, you don't have any insights right now, but you could hide this section. So let's go ahead and hide it because we don't think it's that important to us. And right below your goals on the right hand side, you have your spending trend. It is showing you this is where it last month was, this is where you currently are. This is a great visual when you're looking at your spending. This is really good information. Last month, I was spending a little bit too much money by this time. So it's showing me that visually. So I can hide this as well if I wanted to. My credit score is right underneath here. And then right below that is my budget. Right below that, my the investments. If I had investments, a graph will show up here giving me an overview of how I'm doing on my investments. Right below that is the marketplace. This is where, of course, Mint has to make its money. It's a great software and it makes its money by giving you recommendations for credit cards, banking, insurance, investments, etc. So if you wanted to see more, you can go to all and look at all of your marketplace options. But what we're gonna do is go back to the settings section so we can see how adjusting sections in our settings will impact what they look like in the overview interface. Let's go back to overview features. Now, since I clicked on hide, it removed the checkbox here. If I wanted to show it again, I could click on this and the inside section will reappear on my overview. Right here, the account feature, I definitely want the account feature to be the first one I see, but I also want my spending to be a little bit higher. So I'm gonna move that up here, and I want to have I'm gonna move up my budget as well. I'm going to remove the refund tracker, and I'm going to remove investments from now. Let's go back to the overview feature and see how these changes have impacted my interface. Now you can see the first thing I see here is my budget. The second thing I see is my spending. Remember here in my setting, I couldn't move. The trend section has to stay up top. I couldn't move that any further. But I moved my budget and spending up, and that's reflected here in my overview. So now I have my accounts, my trends. This is always a great overview because most of your time you will be in your accounts and you'll be in your trends section. But I also want to see how I'm faring in my budget. So I have my budget as one of my top section to see in my overview interface, and right below that is my spending. So adjust this based on what makes most sense for you. If your goals were your most important thing, move that up. If your spending is your most important thing, move that up as well. So right over here, I know that I am on the green in almost everything except for my credit card payments. Let's go back to the overview setting and keep examining other sections. So we've currently looked at our accounts. By clicking on this, you can see all the different accounts, financial, billers, and properties. We've looked at account overview features, and this to me is where I spend most of my time in the overview features section, because the overview page is the one that I'm looking at every single day. So I really want to customize it so that it best suits what's important to me. The next one is the hide category. I can click here to hide accounts. And when you click on this button, it gives you a few options. On the left column, your accounts. Here are all of your different accounts. And then you have three options. You can show everywhere, you can hide from budget and trends, or you can hide everywhere. This is up to you how you want to customize your accounts. Right? So for me, let's say, my checking account one is not that important. Let me hide it from budget and trends. Or let me hide it everywhere. You can manage all of that here. Your tags. You can hide tags. You can show tags everywhere. You can hide tags from budget and trends. And this is the same for your bills. Here are all of your bills. The ones that Mint has identified as bills for you, because all of these, Capital One Auto, Capital One credit cards, Mint has already identified all of these as bills for you. You don't have to add them, but you manually added several bills, Apple TV and rent. You can manage whether you want to show in bills or hide them from your bills. For us, we hid one of our credit cards from our bills. Let's minimize the hide section. Let's look at notifications. This is an interesting one, and this, of course, it's all up to you and what you think is more important. You can have a notification of email preference. Do you want to get the Mint newsletter? Do you want to get insight and alerts? I'm going to hide all of this because I really don't need that, but I'm going to keep it for my credit score. Or you can unsubscribe from all Mint emails, right? But I'm going to keep it for my credit score. Spending alerts. This is really important. If you want Mint to alert you and you want to set specific spending limits, this is where you do that. Let's click on spending limit here. This is a really good section if you are working on keeping track of your money. Low balance, if the balance on any of your accounts is below X amount, you can click on this and it will notify you. I don't want to be notified, so I'm going to unclick that. Credit available. This is a big one, right? If the amount of you have in your credit card goes below a certain amount, if it drops below a certain amount, do you want Mint to notify you? Total credit available. If my credit usage is high enough to hurt my credit score. Unusual spending. If my spending in any category is above an X amount, notify me. Over budget. This is great. If I exceed one of my budgets, yes, I want to be notified. Interest rate, if my interest rate changes, yes, I want to be notified. Trade commission, if this is important to you. This is something else that's really important to me. When I get any bank fees or charges, I get a notification. Large purchases, large deposits. Auto insurance spending, if you're paying too much for your car insurance, is this important to you? Right? This is where the marketplace comes in, right? Because they want to send you that marketplace solicitation. Home and mortgage notifications with key information about these accounts. I'm not interested in that, so I'm going to uncheck that. 401k, if you have a 401k rollover, I uncheck that as well. Goal notification when milestones are met and monthly updates. This is important to me, so I'm going to keep that checked. This spending alert section is a great section to help keep you on track. Last but not least is the profile section. It's up to you how much of this information you want to fill out. I don't really particularly care to fill out most of this information, but if this is important to you, yes, you have a profile section here, so you can fill out all of that information. So that is an overview of the settings section of your Mint software. Thank you for your time. I will see you in the next section.